Hello and welcome back to the update for those of you who are watching and curious about what it's like to do a diet on your own. And mind you, everybody else's experience is very different depending on what it is that they're actually going through. So mine being that I had a conflict come up with my partner, and traveling around so much, I just wanted some time to get to feel into my own energy. And so Sunday, I opened up my diet with an ayahuasca ceremony. And prior to that, I drank a cup of bobinsana tea. It's just bobinsana, no psychoactive. It's just the plant of the Amazon, the heart opener. And for those of you who don't drink and are curious about just the Amazonian plant, you could very well just drink the tea or have a little elixir. It's a really good, just kind of microdose bit of it. But since I am a dieter and I have been working with plant medicine for a while, I really love this unveiling. It's sort of an accelerated path. They say it's like having 1,000 times worth of therapy sessions. I just made that number up. There's like a big number, they say, but it really is. And I'll talk about that at another time. I'm going to move this around because the sun is intense. Cool. See, now you can see my face. So I opened up the diet, and then Monday I'd put together a schedule to work with, let's go this way. Hello, don't drink that. To work with early child development, early child trauma, early child healing. So in the morning, I cried a lot. I just felt sorrow in my heart, and like it was just like slow tears, but throughout the day it was a lot of tears. I couldn't really connect where it was coming from, but it was coming, so I allowed it. And well, then I played the charango a little bit, practiced a song, and then went into doing the first course of early child development, which I have notes here that I could reflect back. Because we are on day 3. This is day 3 right now, so I took 3 days break to kind of dip in. All right. Yeah. So also, day 1, I was super dehydrated, massive headache. It just went on throughout the day. It did not stop. And, our instinct is to go and get like a ibuprofen or Tylenol. And I couldn't do that, because when you're on a diet, you really want to just remove everything. Like I have no makeup on. My hair is natural. When I go in the shower, I just wash with water because it's a short diet. So I haven't been washing and just allowing, like no deodorant, allowing my natural odor to come out or whatever is that was stuck inside by putting chemicals on the body. It kind of puts a layer on and traps these energies in. So the idea is to let it go. So I found myself like trying to feel better, and then I was trying to shift something and impress other, and there was nobody around. So it was really an interesting discovery. Be like, no, what are you doing? Why are you trying to impress anybody? Yeah, visions of my divine partnership, and I cried. Visions of him abandoning me, It was just like a massive fear. And then I got to a place of, well, if I'm not the one for you, you could go. And yeah, it was being in that space. But then, yeah, just coming to a place of like, I do not have to push anything. Don't have to push anything. Just listen to my inner voice. And it's really telling me to stay with myself. Also, yeah, the first day was like really just a release. I posted a picture on Facebook on a story of me, and I said I wasn't going to do social media, and there I went and posted a picture of me. And I regularly don't post anything unless it's something that really inspires me, or I feel caught, like rarely, months maybe, or I'll go through spurts, but I had to, it's like, oh, I just have to have people just see me, like, or have my partner remember my face and me. Yeah, so I was a little distracted. My head was still painful throughout the day. I did a little qigong energy movement to sink it down into the body and let it rotate instead of it just being stuck right here. So in whatever way that I process things, it's more of like a real headspace, like overthinking. My right eye has been twitching, but it started twitching even before I did the diet. It was just high stress levels, like, or maybe just sensing a shift, but it was just like automatic. Yeah, and I started playing my bobinsana song, practicing other songs, and charango really helps. It's just, it sounds like a harp to me. It's very delicate. I'm not really sure how to play it accurately just yet, but I really love the softness. It's like calling in my angels in bobinsana. So I went into the early childhood healing, and I first pictured my younger self, my younger child, but not at that age, but the younger child that's still within me. Or actually, no, it was the younger child, and going through sort of a timeline of how she felt and feeling these experiences that she was having. And sitting with her emotional turmoil. Like, what was she experiencing? One of them is that she's shy and she feels ridiculed, emotionally unexpressed, shushed, unsafe. I just want to cry with this one. This one must be a big one. Everybody leaves her and scared of yelling. So, just combining the plant with also doing this work, which I'm in a really big state. Day 3, I almost wished I did the days, because you could see how kind of like focused I was the first day, distracted, and then hello, and then the second day was all right, a little bit distracted, but today I'm feeling quite vulnerable and emotional. So that's what healing looks like. It doesn't look pretty and like fluffy. It can when you have an epiphany, but when it's the stuff that has been built on from conditioning or trauma, or just like, even if you didn't experience major trauma, it still could, like, you could still, what's the word, experience it that way. There is no comparison, really. So yeah, it's really interesting to see. So day 2, I have written down more songs for ceremony. I watched a ton of tarot card readings, and I just felt like, oh, this just needs to go. My head felt clear though, and I turned the tarot card readings off. I think I watched like 2 or 3. And then I took on my paints and started spray painting this board that I have with yellow and blue to create whatever is going to come out. I have no idea. It's just yellow and blue. And I did a little bit of reading. My head felt clear that day. And then I went into the model 2 of the early child healing. So it was to go into recent feelings, something that has troubled me, or there was an emotional kind of upload going on, and to revisit that. And go into what you are perceiving it to be, and like what sort of sensations are coming up in your body, what sort of thought forms, really anything that you could connect to at the moment. And I went into when my partner asked for space, because it was the most recent thing that came up, and major headache. Like, what in the heck? I'm not important. What's wrong with me? Deceit, lies. I did something wrong. My solar plexus was throbbing. It was just like unwanted. He's going to leave me for somebody else. And then after coming into that thinking, that part of expressing itself, and then going into where in childhood this could have developed, like connect those areas to some other event that happened in your childhood. And so I went into that. Come here, honey. Yeah, sit down. Shit. So being ridiculed by my brother, my friends when I was in middle school, a good group of like good girls. We were probably like 4th grade or something. And they all grouped up and told me they didn't want to be my friend anymore. And I just remember now, because I kind of blocked it off. But my mother would also remind me throughout my ages that those girls were so good and they didn't want to hang out with you. And we'll get into my mom later. My friends telling me they didn't want to hang out with me, like shunned me. I remember feeling just like a like, what is it called? Not like, what is the word? It'll come to me. A fragmentation. It just felt fragmented there. I actually seen myself leaving and becoming something to just be strong, and that doesn't bother me, you know? So my mother always blaming me for any incident that happened that's been upgoing. One of my first and longest relationships, not longest, one of my first relationships that was quite long. I mean, he cheated on me. He beat me. We would argue. It was just very destructive. My mother telling me that no one would ever want me, wrote a letter. No one ever want me. Like, no one ever want you. Why would they want you? You're not good enough. I did a lot of healing on that. And me and my mom have an amazing relationship now. But as a child, I was very rebellious, and that was just my path of life. I was rough. Yeah, who I am today has been a grand journey. And I really love being with the plant medicine world and going deeper to these spaces so I could be more myself and authentic and just happy and prosperous, liberated, loved. So then the next step was to write a letter to all of these people. You don't have to give it to them, but you just write it and have a voice. And so I did. Wrote a letter. Don't know where it is now. But I wrote a letter. I wasn't going to read it to you anyways. I wrote a letter to my mom, my ex-boyfriend, those girlfriends, and just telling them, you know, I know I wasn't in the right place, but it really affected me. And it was really painful. It felt really good to write the letter. It's just simple. Not blaming, but just being expressed. Yeah, so and then the next step, and this is over a 2-day period. So the next step was to emotional trauma now. Like, what emotional trauma do you experience now, and how you may deal with them. Yeah, and that was really awakening for me to do that. Similarly, feeling stuck in my expression. Yeah, I used to like dress different to make up for it, color my hair all these crazy colors, and just so I didn't have to voice anything, so my presence would be seen. As I imagine, you know, a lot of people who are covered with tattoos are, but not everybody. So being angry that nobody heard me, just leaving, just being like, I'm out of here, just leaving relationships and people, acting strange, you know, and these are minute things. It's not like I'm doing it all the time, like, but when this does get triggered, these are what I do. And so I'm just being really honest. And then I went in there and did a little bit more judging myself. So when I'm judging myself, I'm distracted. Low ambition, no movement, no study. Trying to win love over, trying to win people over, because there's this built up thing that people are going to leave me. And it's really lethargic to actually have this video, if you guys are still there. So there's different other modalities that you could do within this. Art always helps. So yeah, I'm going to get to painting now. I have my charango. I'll sing a bit more. I might take a day off from doing this, the child development at the moment, or I might go into it. I'm just going to feel it out and just be gentle. Also, another update with food. Definitely feel like I'm in a state of ketosis, if that's possible. It's been 3 days and I've ate a little bit, maybe like, so no salt, no oil, no spices. And I feel good. I feel really like I'm doing some deep cleaning. I have resulted in reaching out to people, and I just want to give up actually at this point. But I know there's so much more to do, and it's just breaking up right now. But the realizations are so huge. I just want to reach out to people and let them know, and apologize for my behaviors of, yeah, being competitive. Just a hard exterior. Not really fully put myself into anything because of my fear. Yeah, more to be discovered. Well, may you all be well, and may you all seek yourselves deeper. Cheers.